Hi everyone. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Isabelle, and if you're new here, welcome. Today I'm going to be doing a study tips video. If you are in year 12 or you're in high school or you just need a few tips and stuff, I am not qualified to give you tips, but I did get a decent ATAR and a lot of you have asked for this video, so I thought I would give it to you. So I graduated school like 3 or 4 years ago, so I don't have any hard notes or anything to show you, so this is going to be a lot of me talking. But you know, if you're struggling a little bit or you just need some advice, I feel like this video might be helpful. So I've got comfy here, I'm on my little wheelie chair and I've got my notes that I'll be reading off. And yeah, let's get started. I will also put a disclaimer in this video that high school is not for everyone. I know that. High school is also not the be-all end-all. Do not take this video as me telling you you need to get the same ATAR as me, because you absolutely do not. I am basically just trying to help you guys. You've asked for a bit of help and some tips and stuff, so I thought I would give you that. The first thing I'll start with is a bit of background. So I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about my high school experience, my ATAR subjects, etc. So I went to Haileybury College in Melbourne, and I was there from the end of year 8 until graduation, and I did get an ATAR of, I'm not trying to flex here, we're being realistic, I'm trying to help you guys, so don't take me as like I'm flexing here, but I did get an ATAR of 98.85, which was insane. It was so good. I was so relieved and so surprised. My mum and I like cried so much. I worked so hard in year 12, so it was really nice to have something like that. I hated maths. I was not very good at maths or science, and I decided to do subjects that I loved because I felt like if I loved them, I would put the effort into them and therefore be good at it, do well, all of that. And the course that I wanted to get into was law, so it didn't need like a maths prerequisite or anything. It just needed a very high ATAR. But yeah, these are the subjects that I did. So I did English, literature, legal studies, sociology, global politics, and media. If you have already chosen your subjects, I will give you some tips for that, but if you haven't, I would definitely say to take into consideration what you want to do after school first. I wanted to go to uni. I was set on uni. I'm not doing it now, but I didn't need a prerequisite of maths or science, so that's why I didn't do it. And I also knew I didn't want to do it because I hated it. It made me sad because I sucked at it. No matter how I tried and no matter how hard I tried, I could never get good at it. So I didn't do any maths or science, and yeah, I just focused on my strengths, which was writing, and I loved like social studies, global politics, that kind of thing. So that's what I did. I would definitely say do what you love, because if you love it, you're going to put more effort into it and therefore do well. Okay, moving on. If you have already chosen your subjects, I would definitely say to kind of use this time being away from school, like at school, to work out how you study best. I don't know, just because Matthew reads cue cards does not mean that you're going to learn as well through like cue cards, or like just because he does like a maths equation a certain way does not mean that you have to do it the same way, as long as you guys get the same answer, you know. My main tip that I would give you guys is to study for what you know works for you. So for example, I loved doing mind maps. I would get like massive sheets of like sketch paper and just draw out all my facts, all my like things that I had to memorize, study like structures, like essay structures, and I would put them all in like a massive map and stick them up around the room. And that's how I would literally sit there and just like look at them and memorize them, and that's how I learned, which is so random. No one else did that, but that's how I learned the best. So highly recommend that you guys find how you work the best, how you can remember things best, and study that way. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. The next thing that I'm going to focus on is the actual method of studying. Firstly, I would definitely say to you guys that the exam is worth the most. It's something that you probably heard from your teachers so many bloody times. The exam is worth the most, so forget if you've lost a few marks here and there or a lot, like it doesn't matter. As long if you get a very high score on the exam, your study score is going to go all the way up and you'll get a very, very good score. Now, the first thing that I would do if I was going to start studying is compress my notes. All the background and the rest of the things that your teachers like tells you on the PowerPoints and stuff are not relevant. They're more just for context. You have facts that you need to kind of reiterate, as long as you know the context and stuff. Obviously, if you don't know the context and theory behind what you're learning and the facts that you're putting into your essays and your work and stuff, then that's, yeah, you got to work on that. But if you do, compress your notes into factual dot points, simplify them as best you can in your own words so it makes sense to you. And then from there, your notes are simplified. If you need to go back and refer to them, there's not a whole bunch of different stuff that you need to like file through in order to find what you need. Secondly, I would definitely say practice exams, as boring as they can be. I don't know, some people like them, but I hated them. Practice exams are so important. Like, they tell you if you need to do them over and over and over and over again. I did so many. I had like stacks of practice exams, and when I would do them, I would get them marked. Either use the answers from previous years and mark them myself, or I'd send them to my teacher, send essays to my teacher, and I would make a list for each subject of areas I needed to work on or where I lost marks, and then do exams or make questions in relation to those areas that I lost marks on, so I could work on them and therefore have absolutely nothing that I didn't know or I couldn't work on, which is so helpful. Okay, and then another thing that I would definitely suggest to you guys is to help each other. Like, I don't know if it's the same now, but when I was doing HSC this year, I don't know, would it be Sydney, Melbourne's so different, and the Queensland and everywhere else, I don't know, but if you share notes and the whole cohort in your school does well, then all of you do well and your score actually goes up. So the fact that you can, if you can, like Zoom call each other, FaceTime each other, go through your notes, just like explain like situations and explain like your facts, like recite them, send your friend cue cards and then ask her to test them on you through FaceTime, email them like your notes and then ask them to like check you like your facts. They learn from teaching you and then you learn from reciting it, and vice versa. That was so effective for me, and I would definitely recommend that. And helping each other as well is so good for your mental health, and it's very important that everyone does well, because like I said, if everyone does well, then you do well. And then another super important section that I'm going to address is self-care. So you probably hear this all the time and you think it's bullshit, but I promise you it's not. Self-care and like your brain, if your brain is in a bad space, you're not going to learn anything. Like if you're constantly tired and you're constantly stressed and you're constantly like, oh my god, I got this bad mark or I got this bad test, you're not going to do well. You need to work on looking after yourself, especially during this time. All of you must be so stressed, worrying about, you know, how your year 12 is going to end up. To put it into perspective, I actually broke my hand in year 12 and I couldn't write for any of my SACs. And as you guys would know, that speed is like a key factor in every exam. You write practice exams in under time limits and things like that, so you know like how much time you have. I couldn't do that until like 2 weeks before the exam because I had my hand in a cast for like what, 3 months, 4 months. So that was super stressful for me, but I still kind of adapted and did it. I know this situation is so different, but you guys, you know, if there's like ways around everything. I don't know what your situation is with exams and stuff at the moment, but I promise you it'll be okay. I promise it'll be fine. I was like, my hand is broken, I'm going to die, I'm going to not get into law, my mum's gonna hate me, like everything is going to go to shit. But it didn't, and I got a great ATAR. So, you know, in your high school journey, particularly in your last years, year 12, I would say my advice to you would be to be selfish. If you want to do well, you need to put your mental health first, your physical health first, and your study time first. I would say the first step into giving yourself a good like mental space would be to give yourself a good study space. So find a space in your house that works for you, that is your space, that is only for you to sit and study at, not to eat at, not to watch YouTube, not to I don't know, bring your dinner to. I didn't do any of that. I had my desk and I put little plants and candles around. It smelled really nice all the time, and I made sure it was clean. If it's messy, your brain's going to feel like it's messy and associate with that, and you're going to be stressed subconsciously. Make sure it is your space, it is only yours. That is where you can study. If you can't do that at home, maybe if you can, I don't know if schools are reopen or something, but I would sit in the library and I would do it there. Even like in the park if you can. The next thing that I would suggest would be to make the space really nice if you can. Even just clean. I put a candle and some plants around my desk to make it feel nice. Even if it's a matter of like moving your desk around, like moving it into a different room in the house. I have really bad anxiety, and to calm myself down when I'd studied and like get myself in the zone, I would play meditation music the whole time. Didn't have any lyrics or anything, but I just loved it. I thought it was so good and it calmed me down, and it was just like I closed the door and then just like, and it was great. Also, would highly recommend that you guys eat healthy, get exercise every hour if you can, don't sit at your desk for too long, and also sleep. If you are sitting there at your desk for 5 hours into the night and you know you're worried about tests the next day, your brain isn't going to absorb anything if you're tired. Like, I promise you, you might think it will, but it won't. So you getting more sleep is going to be more beneficial to you the next day than actually you know, staying up all night and then going to your test the next day tired. So definitely get in the habit of going to sleep on time and waking up around or before giving yourself like a good amount of time before your exams or anything would be, prior to when your exams start. So like I would make sure that I woke up at like 7 so that my brain was wide awake by 9, which is when exams would start, for example. So I would definitely get yourself in the body clock of doing that. Goals board is also super helpful. I'll put up my little one. I put my ATAR that I wanted in front of my desk and I looked at it every day so I could visualize it and manifest it, and I got it despite everything, which is awesome. But if I didn't, I would have been okay with it. It was more just like a benchmark kind of thing that I was like striving towards, and I feel like I was working towards it. I put in as much effort as I could, and even if I didn't get it, I would still be so proud of myself. So highly recommend having like a goals board, having like a reminder, like a quote to like keep like working hard and that it will be okay. Year 12 as well, guys, is 1 year of your life. Like, if you do want to go to uni, which you don't have to at all, I'm doing social media and I was doing law. The last thing that I would say is to get help if you need it. Talk to your family. If you can't talk to your family, FaceTime your friends. Don't cut yourself off from everyone. Everyone's in the same boat. Your parents have been in the same boat. Your teachers are there for you. Their job is to help you. If you need help, message them. Ask for their advice on like how you should be working. They know you best. This will pass, and working hard right now is going to pay off whether you do go to uni or you don't. That is if you really want to work hard. If you don't, so fine, don't even worry about it. Just because I'm not doing law does not mean that that score is a waste. Like, I proved to myself that I could get something. That's what you guys want to do. I would definitely suggest. It's 100% worth it, just to put in the effort and prove something to yourself, not to your parents, not to your teachers, not to anyone else but yourself. It's nice. Your mental health and your own health is more important than any score ever could be. So remember that. If you do want some help or you need some advice and stuff, put a comment in the comments below. Maybe if you guys want as well, you can also put a little shout out in the comments below and ask for help. If you want to start like little study groups or something, that's so cool, and that would make me so happy to see you guys do. So if you want to do that, go right ahead. And yeah, I wish you guys all the best. Good luck for year 12, and remember that it is it is a tiny little part in the big scheme of your life, and there is so much beyond high school. But I hope this video helped you, and I hope that you guys are doing okay, and I'm sending lots of love to all of you and lots of sunflowers to all of you. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up please, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know what other videos you would like to see me do, and I will, yeah, I'll make them for you. Alright, bye. Okay, I completely stopped filming and I forgot to flag this. So, you're not at school right now, but you have probably all been through some kind of high school drama. Now, if you are wanting to get a good score, if you want to finish year 12 with people that love you and support you, you need to remove yourself from anybody that you know does not have your best intentions at heart. I had one best friend in high school. Her name was Izzy. Shout out to you. But I didn't put effort into people that I knew weren't good for me, because that is so draining, and you want to conserve your energy and have good energies around you so you can manifest properly and all of that. I don't know if you guys are into that, but that's what I did. I kind of like just focused on myself, focused on surrounding myself with people that cared, more like my family than kind of anyone. If that's affecting you, you guys need to remove yourself from that, because that is not important, and your mental health is the most important. So yeah, I just want to flag that. But anyway.